Fala galera, beleza? Joaokaka aqui na área, vou virar mais um vídeo aqui pra vocês. E bom galera, é o seguinte, hoje vamos comentar aqui pra vocês sobre um vídeo que o Eric Shakov, espero que tenha pronunciado corretamente, que ele conseguiu uma entrevista com o Minh Lee, né? Que, pra quem não sabe, Minh Lee somente é o pai do CS, né? Foi ele que ajudou a criar, né, principalmente ali o Counter-Strike, né? Ele que fez ali todas as questões de mecânicas básicas, né, do CS, né, e tudo mais, né? Lembrando que o CS, ele surgiu baseado no mod do Half-Life, né? A Valve simplesmente lançou um jogo maravilhoso chamado Half-Life 1, né? E simplesmente ele, junto com o Jeff Cliff, né, eles começaram a trabalhar no mod, né, baseado no jogo Half-Life, claro, num jogo baseado no Counter-Strike, que é um pouquinho diferente, né, de CTs contra TRs e assim por demais, né? Então, vamos lá, né? É uma entrevista de 27 minutos. Se eu não me engano, eu tava vendo como tava as legendas do YouTube, pra ficarem bom pra vocês verem. Se eu não me engano, o início do vídeo não tem a legenda do YouTube, né, tá meio bugado, mas depois ele fica com a legenda bonitinha. Então, vamos lá, né, assistir esse vídeo completo, que com certeza deve ter várias informações aí do que provavelmente ele deve achar do CS2 e tudo mais. Então, vamos ver esse react aqui da entrevista exclusiva que esse canal aí fez com o Minh Lee, mano. Que maravilhoso. Então, vamos ver como o criador do CS, né, ele acha sobre o CS2 e tudo mais, né? Então, vamos lá.
All hands on deck! We're sailing to PirateSwap! Move your wings! Fill this ship to the top! Bring only the best skins! This is going to be a legendary shipment! We need skins only!
Galera, negocie agora suas skins CS2 no PirateSwap, né? Lá é o melhor site de trocas de skins, e utilizando o código Joaokaka você ganha 35% de bônus no depósito e até $30 grátis nas primeiras 3 trocas. Aproveite agora.
When did you play last time?
Tá perguntando se jogou CS recentemente, né? Em 2013 jogou direto, né?
I tried to make Counter-Strike 2, yeah. So
Ele tentou
I was
criar o
actually working
CS2.
on a prototype at Valve, but cheating started in 2002. We had like wall hacks.
Ah, o cheater
and we
começou em
had game bots. It
2002.
was really bad.
Foi bem ruim, né?
Aí
Aí tá falando aí sobre o
He
criador do
developed
CS, né?
CS as a student project and was deeply involved in nearly every aspect of the game. Maps, modes,
Sim, foi
graphics,
tudo que ele
sounds,
exatamente
code, and game
que ele
design.
trabalhou, gráficos,
Essentially,
mapas,
he is the
tudo.
father of Counter-Strike. At 23 years old, he sold CS to
Aí ele vendeu
Valve
os
and worked
direitos
there
pra
until
Steam, né?
2006. Shoak recently had the chance to interview this legendary figure. We discussed the current state of CS2, anti-cheat systems,
falar sobre
sub-tick
CS2,
technology,
anti-cheat,
and Valve's
sub-tick.
approach to development.
E sobre
Nice to meet you.
que a Valve
I am
tem
so
fazendo no
excited
CS.
that we can record this video.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
Agora
Yeah,
tem a
I'm
legenda
excited to
bonitinha,
meet you
né?
and just
Agora eu posso
meet
comentar
the
um pouco
Russian
menos
fans.
nesse caso, mas eu
I'm a
vou
big
ficar
fan of,
comentando tudo.
like Russian culture and my favorite hockey
bem que ele é
player is
russo, né?
Russian.
Really?
Yes. Do you watch hockey?
No, do you? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I love hockey. I'm from Canada.
Ah, não sabia disso,
One
não.
of my favorite hockey players
Eu gosto
is
de hockey.
Russian. His name's Pavel Bure. Maybe you don't know him. You're too young, but he was my favorite Russian hockey player, Pavel Bure. He used to play for my team in Canada, Vancouver Canucks. Oh, I love him. He was really good.
I want to ask you questions about, of course, Counter-Strike.
Oh, sure.
How deeply do you follow Counter-Strike? Maybe you play by yourself sometimes.
I used to play when I made it in like 1998. Up until 2003, I played it every day. I played like so much. I was very good back then. You know, I was playing like maybe 4 hours a day, and I would always be
Legal.
top 3.
Top 3, caraca.
I was pretty
Ele era
good,
bom.
But, you know, but these days, I'm not as good as the pro players. But back then, you know, I was pretty good Counter-Strike player. So after maybe 2005, I kind of stopped playing it because I played it for so many years. I never became professional player, so I kind of stopped playing in 2005. You know.
What emotions and feelings this game causes in you?
When I play it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, when I used to play a lot, I was very just super emotional. I used to like to run and gun, like, so I like to use the MP5, and I would always run. So I was always
Amazing.
the first entry fragger, right? I was never good at sniping, so I didn't have the patience to do sniping, so
Curioso.
I was not.
Você
I was
era
not a
muito
good
bom de
operator. I mean, I just had so much fun playing, and I used to play with like my friends from high school, and I also sometimes I love to play with strangers. You know, I met a lot of some friends who just playing Counter-Strike, and like we became friends afterwards. So it was really awesome, and like yeah, that was one of my favorite times of just meeting new people in Counter-Strike.
Are there some
Legal.
original things that got removed from Counter-Strike, but you miss it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I used to like a lot of the hostage rescue maps, like CS Siege and CS Militia and CS Assault. I was a big fan of hostage rescue, but I think these days it's not so popular because it's not very balanced. So people prefer the bomb
modos de bombas não são tão equilibrados quanto de bombas.
But
Eu acho que pra jogar também são melhores.
They're not really good for esports.
Exatamente.
So most people prefer the bomb maps, but sometimes I like to play casual, you know, just casual pickup games.
On Office?
Exactly.
Office é
Office
é maneiro.
Some of my favorite hostage rescue maps.
Dos mods reféns, Office é o melhor que tem, né? Agora é uma propaganda.
When did you play last time in CS?
Oh God, I don't know. It's probably been like maybe 6 years.
Ah, 6 anos que
because,
você não
well,
joga?
as I said, when I stopped playing in 2005, and then I just kind of I actually started playing other games like Battlefield and those kind of games. But yeah, I mean, about 5 years ago, I started playing again with some friends. We played CS:GO, and yeah, it was fun. I was no good because I was so old and I couldn't. I was really bad. Yeah, so. Like in Counter-Strike, you have to play every day, you know, every day to keep up, or else you come back and it's just like you can't. Your reflex is too bad. So, but yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Are you happy that Valve
Até hoje eu não jogo
takes care
CS2,
of
né?
CS
Engraçado.
and not some other big company?
Oh yeah, I think so. Valve are very, they're very like they're very methodical. Like they take their time, and they do not change the game to try to make money. You know, they just want to change the game to make sure that the game is
They did customization, not
yes,
game.
yes.
Exatamente,
right,
sem
exactly.
jogabilidade,
So they don't
só
want to change,
customização.
like Call of Duty. Every year.
Call of
they
Duty
change
é
the
aquele
game.
cúmulo, né,
This,
de
this.
querer ganhar dinheiro, né?
But Valve is not like
A
that.
Valve
They
quer
they
ganhar
make
também
sure
muito
to keep
dinheiro,
the
mas
game
não
same,
chega nesses
make sure
níveis,
the
né?
game is the same for new players and the old players. I'm really happy Valve are taking charge of it and not like Activision or something.
Exatamente, bem melhor que a Valve do que a Activision.
Another offers.
After I left Valve.
Yeah.
I had a few offers, but unfortunately, I didn't really take them. But yeah, I kind of made some mistakes. I was not really good with my business decisions. So I wish I could have worked on a game like Battlefield or something like that. Yeah, because I really enjoy Battlefield. But unfortunately, I don't think maybe the opportunity to work on Battlefield is there anymore. Maybe I can try to apply because I like Battlefield. So
Mano,
yeah, we'll see.
criador do CS não ter uma vaga é meio difícil, hein?
Game.
Yeah.
Acho que tem sim, hein, mano.
Valve.
Yes.
O cara só
When
trabalhou
Valve
nos jogos
was
mais
released.
icônicos, né?
What do you think about it?
Well,
Sobre o VAC agora.
Even when I started working at Valve in 2002, we had problems with cheating. I mean, cheating started in 2002.
né?
We had like wall hacks, and we had aimbots. It was really bad, and it was very difficult to even stop back then. You know, so it's something that we cannot fix. It seems like it's like virus. You know,
É,
like
é
we
difícil.
always have to update the new virus.
Sempre
checker.
vai ter
So
outro melhor
I
e
think
tudo mais, deve
it's
ser
really
difícil.
difficult for Valve to
Exatamente.
completely eliminate it. But
Mas
I
tem
think,
como
I
minimizar.
think they're doing a pretty good job of, you know, just trying to keep it under control because it's difficult. Like all games, like Valorant or Call of Duty, they have so many hacking problems, and
Com
it's
certeza.
just something that just comes with like multiplayer games. It's very hard to fix. I think Valve they're doing as good a job as I think. You know.
But now, if you will start a game, 20%, maybe 30% will be cheater in the game.
Yes. That's not so fun because I used to play Battlefield a lot, and Battlefield had a pretty big problem. Like maybe Battlefield, 50% I would face a cheater, so it really destroys the experience.
É,
So
isso
it's
pode estragar pra
kind
caramba.
of sad. But I think that's why I kind of like systems like Face It. So
É, tem
Face
bom
It is
cheat.
actually a very good
A Face.
system where you play with people who are, they're more kind of like certified players. So you know he is not a cheater. You know.
What do you think about AI anti-cheats?
É tipo
That
VACnet, né?
will like analyze players on the server and ban them for strange patterns. Do you think there is a future in it?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about them, and I heard Valve was using some kind of AI to
VACnet.
detect the aiming patterns. Yeah, they're interesting, but obviously there's problems of false negatives where they
Sim,
they
pode existir.
detect real humans. So it's still kind of it's a kind of new technology, but I think it's a very powerful tool. And if they can get it perfect and get it right, I think it will be really helpful. You know, to maybe what they can do is they can combine the AI with like a human judge, and so the AI can pass the test to the human and say, is this guy a cheater? And then the human can kind of look at it and say, maybe he's a cheater. So maybe AI combined with something like Overwatch, you know, they can combine the two. But I think
Overwatch
AI is a
bot seria
very useful tool
maravilhoso.
because it's very hard to kind of watch all the videos of all the cheaters. You have to have some kind of AI to speed it up, you know.
If you owned some competitive video game, how would you battle with cheaters? Would you dare to go to court against cheat developers?
I used to live in Korea, and they had a really good system that dealt with cheaters. So in Korea, if you want to play a game, you have to give them like your
Identidade,
your
né?
passport, yes. And so, like, if you get caught cheating, they ban you and your passport, and so you cannot create a new account. So it's very hard to cheat in Korea, and like some Asian countries do this. So I really
Acho que a
like
China
that
faz isso
system,
também,
though.
né?
But I think in North America, in Europe, people are they don't want to give up their privacy, you know, so it's a difficult system. Yeah, it's a difficult question to answer. I mean, like, part of me likes the Korean system, but, you know...
Seria interessante, né, de você ter, tipo, uma pena mesmo para pessoas que cheatam e comprovadamente, né?
You know, you kind of, like, pay money and you become a trusted player, and I think that's a good system to do, you know.
Not that long ago, Counter-Strike made a switch for a subtick. What do you think about it?
Oh, which one? A
Subtick.
Oh, what's that?
Ele não sabe o que é subtick. É que ele tá bem desatualizado, né?
And 128. And now they removed tick rate and they use only subtick. Do you know this?
Oh, actually, no, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, yeah, because this was recently, like a few years ago.
Yeah, on with release Counter-Strike 2. On Source 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really have an opinion on that because, like, I stopped playing in 2006, so I don't really know. I didn't really. I left before they even introduced crates. So, but yeah, I mean, I trust Valve. I really think that they do a pretty good job, and they kind of understand the user player base, and so yeah, I really think that they'll fix the problems. And if the players they complain a lot, Valve they're pretty good at listening, and you know. I think they will listen to the player base if many people complaining about it. I really think that they do a really good job of you know, changing the game if it needs to be changed. You know.
What do you think about community servers? Maybe you have heard about the Cybershock project about us.
Oh, really? I love community servers. Yeah. So in CS2 right now, do you have community servers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love.
Eu
I always
muito
loved playing
legais também, né?
community
Tem
servers.
muita
because
variedade,
I
né?
like to play
Contrário
with
que
the
tem
people I
servidores
know
oficiais.
and you know people near me, and so I always when I was playing in Counter-Strike the betas, I would always join the same servers, like the same community servers, because I made a lot of friends on the community servers. So I prefer to play with my friends in the community, because I don't like matchmaking sometimes, because sometimes matchmaking you play with random peoples and sometimes they're hacking, you know, and I don't like that. It's because sometimes if you find a hacker, you cannot ban them. But with community servers, sometimes the admin can watch them and say, okay, this guy's hacking, we gotta ban him. So I think it's more control, and it makes a better play environment. So I love community servers, and I every time I play, I try to play on the community servers, and that's why I don't like matchmaking sometimes. It's too random.
What mods
Tem esse detalhe,
did
né?
you
A não ser que
play
seja
on
coisa
community servers? Maybe zombie?
negócio fechado.
Well, back in the day when I stopped playing, there wasn't so many mods back then. I mean, we used to play like gun game.
Oh.
Well, that was
Arms
popular
race.
back then, and surf maps.
Yeah.
Do you know surf?
Of course, we have Surf. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. We have
So-
Hope, KZ.
Yes. So those ones were the ones that I used to play back then. So those are fun. But yeah, these days they have so many mods, like zombie mods.
If you were leading the Counter-Strike team now, would you add official support for many other game modes, like Surf or Zombie Escape, in official?
Oh, in the official CS2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the mods really add a lot of different different play styles, and it keeps the game fresh. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why Valve doesn't have like official. So right now, does Valve have official mod support?
They have only gun game.
É, Arms
Deathmatch,
Race, mata-mata.
and Wingman. You can play
Braço direito, né?
with your friends.
Ah, okay.
That's all I think.
I think that they. I mean, if I was in charge of that, I would love to add mods because I used to love playing mods on different servers. Like I would join a different community server and they had
Eu
a
acho que a
different
Valve tem que
mod
adicionar mais
installed,
coisas.
so,
Principalmente todos
that was
os
cool.
mods que eles
Sometimes
removeram do
I like to,
CSGO.
like, have a different,
Danger
like, different
Zone,
gameplay experience,
o
yeah.
do
Because I'm more
Mata-Pombo,
of a casual player, so I'm not really good
Demolição,
pro sports.
todos os mods que eles
So
tiraram
sometimes
deveria
I like to try
voltar
the
e
different,
adicionar mais alguns
different
oficiais,
game
tipo
styles,
Surf.
so, yeah. I like the mods, you know.
Galera, todo mundo sabe que o CSGO 15 é o melhor site para abrir caixas, né? Então, utilizando o código Joaokaka, você ganha R$3 de graça para abrir qualquer caixa nesse valor lá no site. E depositando, você ganha 10% de bônus, né, de depósito lá no site, né? Sendo que eles aceitam vários métodos de pagamento, né? Como Pix, cartão de crédito, suas skins, criptomoedas e muitas outras formas, tá? Entre agora pelo link na descrição.
What can you say about working with Gabe and what is he like?
He's very interesting. He's a
Gabe.
really nice guy, very nice guy. He was really, he's kind of eccentric, yeah. But he had like a lot of different interests. Like, I remember one time he likes to collect knives. Right, he was a big knife
Isso é
collector.
verdade, né?
So he had a room
Eu já ouvi
full
falar
of
que o Gabe
knives
adora
and
colecionar
axes
facas.
and stuff like that, and it was really cool. When I used to work there, I used to go into the room and just play with his knives, and it was really nice. He let anyone go there and play with him, and so he had a lot of different interests. He was a knife collector. And one time he used to like to sing with his throat. It's kind of a weird.
Cantar com a garganta, que isso?
It's kind of a weird. It's called Mongolian throat singing.
Quem imaginaria que o Gabe gosta de cantar isso?
Basically, in Mongolia, they have these singers. They sing with their throat like that, right? So Gabe, he was into that.
Curiosidade, né?
Like, so I remember one year, he used to do that like every day, and he would go, and he would walk around the office, and people would be like, oh my God, this guy is so annoying. We always just close the doors, but it's funny. So, but thankfully, he only did that for like maybe like 6 months or something. He's a really great guy. He's very creative, you know. He likes to try different things, you know, not just software, but like hardware. Like he was really into VR. And so, yeah, I mean, like the whole Steam, you know, Steam, it was his idea.
Sim.
Yeah, because I remember when he first introduced Steam, many people at Valve, we were like, I don't know, this is not gonna go well. You know, it's gonna fail, right? But look at Steam now. Steam is incredible because
Só a maior plataforma de jogos PC.
back when he first introduced Steam, there was nothing like Steam, right? Everybody buys the game in the store. But Gabe, he knew, he kind of saw. He said, oh, no, the internet will become very, very fast and people will download games.
What do you like the most about
Isso é verdade, já era
I think
visionário,
they
né,
really did
cara?
a good job with just updating the graphics. I mean, it looks very nice, but it also runs very well on people with low machines. So they did a really good job just making it look nice and very optimized. And I like the new, like the smoke grenades. That looks like just really awesome. It really adds a new dimension to the gameplay. And it's great. It's just a really great, very polished game, and I like that they didn't change it too much. You know, it's very, you know, if you played CS:GO, it feels the same as CS:GO, but it just looks better. So I think they did an incredible job on it. Yeah.
How do you like actually?
Pegaram tudo que o CS2 tinha de bom
It was my first time
e
coming
refinaram
here
algumas
and
coisas no
just
CS2.
meeting you and
A Gabe tá
meeting
falando sobre
so many
a Galera
content
TV Awards,
creators,
né?
and, it's really amazing. I just really just.
Que ele
feels
participou,
really
né?
great to
Provavelmente
see
essa entrevista
people
foi
like you succeeding.
pouco antes ou depois do HLTV
yeah,
Awards.
it just feels really good to see people still playing Counter-Strike today, because, you know, I mean, when I made it in 1998, I didn't think it would last this long. I thought maybe it will be, people will stop playing in 2010 or something, but now we still playing it, so yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think
Até bastante,
a lot
tá?
of it is because Valve,
De 98 a
Valve are just
2010
doing
é 12
really
anos.
good job of just
Muitos jogos
keeping
nem
the
duram
game
isso, né?
fresh and, you know, keeping the community happy.
Eu tava até
and, you know,
sendo
seeing all the
bastante
skins
otimista
that people are
jogo
making.
durar
I mean,
12
there's a
anos.
whole, like, this whole community making skins, and like it's
O jogo
really
durou
amazing,
muito mais
but
que
just
isso.
seeing all the whole ecosystem evolving outside of the game, you know.
Also workshop maps, because in Counter-Strike workshop maps are insane. I don't know it's a game like CS, because community creates so
Sim,
big
cria muito
content,
mapas
so big.
bons.
That's how we found like all the good maps, like DE Dust. They were all just community maps, and yeah. I love to play new maps.
What is your favorite map?
Oh, well, my
Mapa
favorite
favorito.
map. Well, I think it was like CS Siege.
CS Siege,
that was
nossa,
probably
antiga.
one of my best ones. Siege,
Assault,
Assault.
caraca,
DE
joguei
Dust,
muito Assault.
probably, yeah. But I played
Dust.
DE Dust so many times, so now it gets
O
kind of
Dust
boring.
What did you feel
ou 2?
when
Eu
you
acho que é o
sold
2 que ele tá falando.
Counter-Strike to Valve?
You know, at the time I was very young. I was only 20, and so I was very honored to work with Valve because I loved Valve and I wanted to just work with them. And yeah, it was I was really happy, and I mostly wanted to just work with them. So I was happy to just let them. You know, I was happy to just give them Counter-Strike, and you know, I got to work with them and got to just work with some really talented programmers and developers. So you know, I think in the end it turned out really well, and I really enjoyed my time like working at Valve. I met so many awesome people. You know, I still have so much good memories working there. It's you know, they have very smart. They have the smartest like developers. Yes.
Are you in touch with Gabe?
Not so much. I try not to bug him too much, like unless I have something urgent to say. But no, I try not to bother him. I mean, he's so busy, so I don't. I mean, I haven't spoken to him ever since ever since I left. But yeah. But no, I'm sure if I tried to email him, he would probably say hi. Yeah. When I left Valve in 2006, you know, we were still very friendly, and like, you know, I just said, you know, if I come back, you know, you know, he would love to have me back or something. So we kept on good terms. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to see him again. I really enjoyed working with him. He was a really nice guy. He's a really cool guy. Yeah. I was working up until CS 1.6. Yeah. So after 1.6, I stopped working on Counter-Strike, and I started to work on like I tried to make Counter-Strike 2.
CS2,
so I was actually working on a prototype at Valve, but eventually it never became anything. And then, yeah, after that I didn't work on Counter-Strike Source, so I didn't work on CS Source. And so I left Valve in 2006, and so so the last time I worked on Counter-Strike was 1.6. Yeah.
What you can advise to another developers how to create games?
These days, the game industry is so many games, right? So it's very competitive. So it's difficult. But I think if you have the passion and you really enjoy and have a very passionate vision about making a game, then you know, give it a go, give it a shot. And I think as long as you enjoy it. You know, that's the key thing, you know. And I think it's really important to play your game with other people early at the early stage, like, because you want to get some feedback from other people. And sometimes it's very hard to get feedback because sometimes it's negative and it can be very difficult to get negative feedback. It's very important to get feedback on your game at the very early stage, so you can make the change, right? Like, because if you look at other games, like even AAA games, like Concord, it was this massive FPS game. And you know, I mean, it was being developed for like 7 years or something, and then it came out, and then people saw it. Whoa, what the heck? You know, if they showed it to people early on in the first 2 years or something, maybe they can get feedback from people and say, you should change this, or you should change the style. It looks it's not so good. So they spent 7 years making the game, and then at the end, people saw it and they're like, no, it's not for me. So I think it's important, like if you make a game, like multiplayer game, it's important to try to get feedback early.
Por isso que
Deadlock.
A Valve fez uma beta, né, de quase ano.
I think it's combining MOBA with Team Fortress, and it's trying to create a new genre. So I think it looks really cool, and I really hope it does well, really, because I'm a big fan of Valve games. So I don't play Dota, but I used to play a lot of Team Fortress. So yeah, I like to check it out when I have some time. But yeah.
What was the hardest thing in developing
Counter-Strike? I guess just trying to get the balance right. You know, the weapon balance. That was very difficult because, you know, we always made changes to the guns. Sometimes we make the guns too powerful, and then the next beta we have to kind of nerf it. So it took us many betas before we can get the right balance of the guns. I still think that the op is still a little bit too powerful, and yeah, I think it seems a little bit like unbalanced, to be honest. I think if I were to go back and make a change for Counter-Strike, I would limit like the number of ops that one team can buy. Like I would say they can only buy 2 ops in the round. So Because sometimes you see one team, they have like 4 ops. It's a little bit crazy, you know. So
Geralmente
if only I
é
can
um
make one
pouco
change,
mais
I would
raro de
just-
ver
I
4
would just
alpes,
try
mas
to
assim,
limit the
seria
number of
interessante.
After
2
that,
alpes não
what did you
quebraria
do?
o jogo, não.
What countries did you see?
Aprovaria essa
What
mudança.
countries, where did you live?
So actually, after Valve, I worked on another game called Tactical Intervention, but it was a failure. So, but
Sabia não.
I actually moved to Korea, and I spent like 6 years in Korea working
Legal.
with a Korean company, and yeah, that was really amazing. It was like being in Korea. I got to see like Korean culture, and like in Korea they make a lot of PC games, so they had a lot of different Counter-Strike
Sim,
games
sim.
there, and
Counter-Strike
so it
Minh,
was
eu
just-
acho.
It's a
Não
really
sei se era
amazing
Japão,
culture
da
to
Coreia,
see,
mas
and
era
so
asiático.
I really enjoyed working in Korea. Yeah, so after that, I worked on a game called Rust.
Ah,
I don't know-
Rust,
you know Rust?
bacana.
Of course.
Okay, yeah. So I worked on Rust for 5 years, and that was
sabia,
that
não.
was great.
Muito
yeah.
bacana.
So I made
Tenho
the
certeza que
animations
deve
for
ter
Rust,
gente que
all
tinha jogado
the
esse jogo,
gun
não. Ele é bem
animations,
famoso.
reloads, that kind of thing. And I love working for those guys, like the Face Punch Studios. They were really awesome. And then after that, I actually went back to Korea and I joined a company called Pearl Abyss. So they make a game called Black Desert.
Black
So
Desert,
is
bacana.
like
Já
an
joguei
RPG
lá na
game.
BGS esse jogo.
And so yeah, so I got to work with them on.
Eles tinham um
on a-
stand
on a-
enorme lá.
on a-
Aí
on a-
tinha a galera jogando,
like a-
dava
like
brinde.
a- It was like a
Maneiro
third-person
jogar.
shooter. It was a sci-fi, and yeah, but I really had a great time working at Pearl Abyss. It was my second time going back to Korea, so I was more comfortable with working in Korea, and so yeah, it was just awesome. I loved working at Pearl Abyss, but I left in 2023, so last year, and then I came back to Canada,
Recente, né?
and now I'm just kind of working with another team, kind of a small team. We're making kind of like it's kind of like a co-op, like four players, PvE against against the enemy AI. So it's like Payday. Do you know Payday?
Yeah, of
Ah,
course.
Payday,
Okay,
Payday.
so it's kind of like
Payday
Payday,
é muito
but
top.
you play as the police, and then you fight against like the criminals and terrorists. So it's kind of like Counter-Strike mixed with Payday. Yeah. So I'm kind of working on this project now with these.
Did you expect that Counter-Strike will have so big success, or it was a surprise?
Yeah, wow, no, I was totally surprised and just
Imagine.
yeah, just really it's great to see. I'm very surprised, and when I first released it, we didn't think it would be a big game. We just thought just be medium, and that's okay because we wanted to make a game that we can play with our friends and just have some fun. When we first released the first version, it was like very many players saw it and we were like, oh shit, and we were very happy and we wanted to make new version very fast. So yeah, and now seeing it 25 years, people still playing it, yeah, it's awesome.
We think that Counter-Strike will never die. And what is power of CS? What do you think?
I think it's kind of amazing because I think part of it is it's a very simple game, very simple. New players can learn it and kind of enjoy it, but also at the same time, the game hasn't changed. Like in 2000 and then 25 years now, the game it feels the same. It's the same mechanics, same buying the weapons, and the weapons they actually feel very similar to Counter-Strike 1.6. So I think that's one of the keys, and Valve are very good
Aprendizado
about
de CS
that.
é muito
They don't
fácil
wanna
comparado a
change the
muitos
game
jogos.
every year. They keep
Tu
it
tem
the
que
same.
ficar aprendendo
So
o poder de
old players can come
personagem,
back, they
sabendo
can
o que tem
play
que fazer
and
e
have
tudo
fun.
mais.
And the
Só
new
saber a arma
players
boa
can
e
enjoy
o
it
objetivo
too.
de
And
fazer.
that's very important for the esports scene because in order to train the esports, it takes many years to become good at the game. It's like football, right? Yeah. So to me, it feels like it's the football of competitive games. So. Yeah, I hope that we can still see people play in another 25 years. It would be awesome. So
Com
I
certeza.
don't know, we'll see. But I think I trust Valve. I think they do a really good job. They just keep things and they work they're very slow and they work very methodical.
I pay you a big respect. Thank you.
Well, no, my pleasure, and it's a pleasure to meet you, and it's a real honor to speak with the Russian community. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Russian culture, so I really love, it's a great opportunity to speak with people from Russia, yeah. I have many friends,
Bem bacana que ele gosta
Russian
da
friends
Rússia.
as well. I've met many Russian friends. They're very good programmers.
Okay.
It's my pleasure, my friend. It's my pleasure, yeah. And hello to all the Russian players and people. It's an honor to speak with you guys and connect with the Russian players, yeah.
It's great, great.
Yeah.
You're so good guy.
Nice, my thank you.
Que maneiro. Mas assim, galera, no geral, essa foi a entrevista, tá? Com o Minh Lee, né? Um dos criadores aí do Counter-Strike, né? Simplesmente aí o pai do CS, né? Então, vimos várias curiosidades bacanas, né? Que ele acabou, se não me engano, parando de trabalhar na Valve em 2006, né? Descobrimos aí o mapa favorito dele e tudo mais, né? O que ele pensa do CS e tudo mais. A gente viu que ele não joga CS há uns bons anos, né? Ele parou ali no CSGO, né? Até hoje ele não jogou o CS2, né? Ele não sabia algumas coisas, tipo subtick. Espero que futuramente ele volte a saber mais sobre o CS, né? E que ele atualize os conhecimentos e até, quem sabe, possa voltar a trabalhar, né? Na Valve, né? Quem sabe, seria muito bom, né? O criador do CS, né? Voltando a trabalhar e simplesmente vendo as melhorias. Eu gostei muito da questão do balanceamento, né? Que ele falou da AWP, né? De, por exemplo, de você limitar como 2 pessoas do mesmo time comprando na AWP. Eu acho que não impactaria muito em jogos, tá? Eu acho que poderia ser um bom balanceamento. Eu acho que 2 AWP por time é ótimo, né? Não sei, aí, tipo, no caso você teria que roubar as AWPs do outro time pra ter mais AWPs, né? Então, seria isso. O que vocês acham sobre essa entrevista, tá? Vou deixar os créditos, né, aqui do canal do Eric, tá? Vou deixar aqui o link, né, na descrição para vocês darem uma olhada, né, e acompanharem. Mas é isso, galera. Espero que vocês gostaram do vídeo. Se gostou do vídeo, não esqueça de deixar aquele gostei e de seguir aqui o canal, tá? Mas é isso. Valeu, até a próxima. E fui!